In today's hot sellers market, you can certainly sell your home yourself. And if for sale by owner is your plan, these are my top 5 tips so that you can be successful. Hi everyone. Hi, welcome to my channel, Kelly's Corner of Real Estate. I'm Kelly Wise, a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland. My number 1 tip if you're going to sell your house yourself is to price it correctly and prove it. This means that you need to look at recent sales. You need to understand if they gave a concession to the buyer. You also need to look at if they have upgrades that maybe you don't have, or maybe you have upgrades that they do not have. And then utilize all of that information to create a price for your house. This way, if you do receive a lowball offer, you can counter it with proof. You can say, hey, I looked at the recent sales. I know what sold on the market. I know what kind of concessions were given. I know what upgrades they have versus the upgrades that I had. And my home is definitely worth this. Now, you want to price it at market price, not at the price that you really just want to get. So if homes are selling in your neighborhood for, say, $250,000 to $260,000, and they all have 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and that's what you have as well, then that is the price range where you should have your home. You shouldn't look at it and say, okay, well, I know the market's hot, so I'm just going to add 10% to that. As a little side note, if you recently upgraded things like the roof, or you put in a new water heater or HVAC system, these are considered maintenance items and they do not affect the value of your home. They are pluses for a buyer, so you shouldn't mention them in any type of ads that you create. But you cannot say, oh, I just put in a new water heater for $2,000 or $3,000. So I'm just going to tack on $3,000 to the sales price. And keep in mind that buyers that are looking at FSBOs are mostly looking at them because the competition is so high on the homes that are listed and they're running into multiple offers there. They're looking for places that are less competitive. That doesn't mean you won't get a lot of offers on your house, but it does mean that the buyers that are coming to you are looking for an offer. Looking for a deal. Tip number 2 is to prep your home for potential buyers. Your home should look livable, but not lived in. You're probably thinking, I live there. How do I make that happen? Well, first, declutter. Look in your pantry. Look in your linen closet. Look in your cabinets, your refrigerator. Does it look a little junky? Like maybe there's too much stuff stuffed in there. If so, take a few items out. Buyers, when they come through your home, are going to open all those things. Even though we have a pandemic right now, and as real estate agents, we tell them, please touch as few surfaces as possible. When they're putting up a few $100,000, they want to make sure that they're going to have space for their items. So more than likely, they are going to open those things. In addition, look down. Look at your floors. Do you have raggedy carpets? Are your hardwoods scratched up? If so, think about replacing those carpets, getting the hardwoods sanded and restained. This will go a long way because buyers will look at these things and think, oh, they didn't take care of this house. Now, you also want to eliminate odors. Because of the pandemic, we are all home more often. A lot of us are cooking at home more often. And these create smells that are normal to you, but as a buyer walking in the door are going to be foreign to them. So you're probably thinking, how do I get rid of these smells? 1, if you have a cat, make sure you're changing the kitty litter more often. If you are doing a lot of cooking, you want to make sure that you are cleaning all the surfaces in your kitchen. You also want to make sure you're taking the trash out more often, at least every day. Vacuuming can help as well. Like if you vacuum soft surfaces like couches and chairs, that helps eliminate some smells. Also, you're probably going to do this anyway, is paint. So if you're a smoker, start smoking outside. And then also you want to look at a neutral color palette to paint all of your walls. Of course, no one wants to buy a home with sticky little fingerprints going up the stairwell. So this is a good way to get rid of those. And painting also will get rid of smells. Now lastly, if your budget allows, you can hire a stager. A stager doesn't just bring in furniture and make your house look glamorous. A lot of times you can just hire them for a consultation. They will come in, they will tell you which wall hangings to take down, what you can put on the dining room table to add a little shine to your photos. They can also help you rearrange furniture or tell you which pieces to take out, or maybe there's a piece in the dining room that would look better in the living room. And this way your rooms will look larger and they'll be ready for photos. Tip number 3 is to market your property like a professional. To do this, start with hiring a real estate photographer. Don't hire your friend that takes baby pictures or portraits. They're good at taking those pictures of people, but when you're taking pictures of rooms, you really need to know how to do the right angles. And if you don't, you're gonna wind up with pictures of your couch or your oven. They're not gonna look great. Especially since next you're gonna wanna put all of those photos online. Find as many websites as you can to upload these photos to, along with a description of your home. Remember, don't put everything in the description because you want people to come see it. The reason you want to do this, and you may have to pay for some of these websites, is because buyers, 90% of them, start their search online. Now, after you put all of this information onto websites, you're going to want to create some type of a marketing brochure or a leave behind to leave in your house for when buyers come to see it. That way they can take notes on it, take it home with them. Buyers often see multiple homes in a day, sometimes 5 or 6. So when they get home and they go, hey, honey, which one did you like best? They can pull up your flyer or your brochure and say, oh, look, I really like this one. See, because of this picture or that koi pond that was in the back, or for whatever reason. But at least they have something to remind them and they don't have to say, what was that address again? Let me look it up. I don't remember. Next, you're going to want to pull out your cell phone and go through all the numbers in that phone, starting with your neighbors. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth would I call my neighbors? Well, neighbors have friends, and friends like to live near friends. So if you call a neighbor, they might have a friend that's looking to buy a home and say, hey, you know what? My friends Janie and Jack would love to live across the street from me in the cul-de-sac. I'll let them know that your home is now for sale. This is a great way to start finding some buyers. Same with your friends and your family. Let them know that you are selling your home because they know other people, coworkers and their friends, that may be interested in living in your neighborhood. Next, you're going to want to create a social media post, and you're going to want to do this for the exact same reason. It's another way to reach multiple people. Also with a social media post, you can join various groups. I belong to several that are real estate related, and you can post your listing there. It's another way to get the attention of real estate agents or people that are in the market. Now, one of the biggest ones is Facebook. Facebook will allow you to create some ads if you create a business account, I believe. With those ads, it does cost money, but you can target people. So if someone is looking for a home in, say, Gambrills, Maryland, and that's where your home is, Facebook would target that person that created that search and show them your ad. You can also do this with Google, again, for a little bit of a fee. Tip number 4 is to screen potential buyers. Don't just let someone off the street into your home because they saw the for sale by owner sign. That's a good way to get yourself in trouble, to get things stolen. Instead, require appointments. When buyers or their agents call you, you need to make sure these buyers are pre-approved. If they are planning to do a cash offer, ask them for proof of funds. This will help protect you from people that are just looky-loos. Even in today's environment, there are still people out there that say, hey, I just want to see if maybe I want to buy a home. You don't want those people in your house. You are looking for serious buyers that have the money to actually buy the home. While you're in the process of screening potential buyers, ensure that you know who is coming in and out of your home. Do this by collecting a business card from every single real estate agent that enters your home. Also have a sign-in sheet next to the door along with a pen so that buyers can sign in and let you know who their real estate agent is. This way, if you get an offer, you know who to follow up with, or if you do not get an offer, you can follow up and find out why. Before I get to number 5 of my top 5, there is a number of other things that you can do to ensure that your home sells, especially if you're doing it by yourself. If interested in the rest of the list, fill out the form below and I'll be happy to send it to you. Now, moving on to tip number 5 is understanding exactly what you are signing. The contract is a legal binding document. Part of the offer that you're going to get from the buyer contains disclosure forms. In those disclosures, you as the seller must disclose any material facts. material facts are something that if the buyer had known about before going to closing, they may have changed their mind about the sale. If you purposefully omit something, this is a lie, and omissions can lead to you being sued by the buyer. So I like to say, when in doubt, spit it out, meaning anything that could possibly be a disclosure, put it on that disclosure form, and that way you are erring on the side of caution. Additionally, I like to point out that the buyer's agent, although they may seem helpful because they are trying to move the transaction along, their job is to represent the buyer's best interest. They are not there to represent you. If any of the papers that you are reading you do not understand, I suggest you do one of two things. A, hire a real estate agent, or B, hire a real estate attorney. Either one will go through all the forms with you to make sure that you have a full understanding. Because again, these are legal, or the contract is a legal binding document. Well, that's it for my top 5 tips on selling your house yourself. To recap, 1 was to price it correctly. 2 was to prep it. 3, market like a professional. 4, screen those buyers. And 5, understand the legalese of the contract. Thank you for watching. Again, I am Kelly Weiss, a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland. Now remember, you can do this. 8% of all homes are sold as a FSBO. If the information that I provided here today sounded too time-consuming, overwhelming, or just plain stressful, then give me a call. Sometimes it really is best to leave the hard work in the hands of a pro, especially when dealing with an asset as valuable and expensive as your home. So thanks again for watching. See you guys next weekend. Bye now.